Hey, Chris Liepe here with special guests from Monuments, Andy Cizik.
Hey, hey.
And you're going to share with us how you unlocked your wickedly high range.
That's right.
So take my hand and pull me closer when you're far away, 'cause we got something that will never fade.
There isn't any trying to sing higher without being properly warmed up. And Andy has crafted a special warm-up routine that helps him prepare his voice to sing high on tour, in recordings, all the time. That course is free, and it is available in the pinned comment or the video description.
Monumental vocal warm-ups with Andy Cizik.
No.
Fuck me.
Quite honestly, you disgust me.
Thank you. I take that as a compliment.
Because in listening to all the covers that you do and everything, what comes off first is like, man, this guy's just got a naturally high range. He was just always, it's one of those, you either got it or you don't. You've just always been able to sing super, that's how you come across. It's like, this is just a natural thing. And you even listen to you talk and you've got this higher thing. And
Yeah.
But that wasn't always the case?
No, not at all. Not in the slightest.
Okay.
I like to always refer to everyone's talent as a marble block that you've got to chisel out with effort and discipline. And it was much the same for me when I first started singing. You know, I was all right. It was a not formed sculpture, and I was stuck purely in my chest voice. So I couldn't sing above an A flat to save my life. And even that was challenging for me. You know, I'd be like, "Blow! Why can't I go higher?" And slowly I started to learn that singing higher in my range wasn't about pushing full chest voice, but by learning to mix and blend my chest with my head voice.
The language you used there was awesome because you didn't say, it wasn't a matter of me just pushing my chest voice higher, but learning to find my mixed voice. You didn't say that, which is how a lot of language happens. And I've perpetuated that language. You want to sing higher? Find your mixed voice. But what you said, which is super cool, is you learned to mix your chest voice with your head voice. As a result, you found your mixed voice.
That's
and
right.
that is what allowed you to find your higher notes. So those higher notes were there all along. It's just
Yeah.
that you were ignoring your head voice.
Yeah, it's about discovering them, not necessarily creating them, but unlocking your higher range with these techniques. Someone suggested to me that I should make this ugly, whiny siren sound to unlock more of my range. And I was like, what? And they were like, just try it. So I would go, ah, ah, ah.
So the key to a siren is that it's obnoxious.
Yeah,
right?
obnoxious and piercing and not full, just kind of in this area that isn't falsetto, but I'm still reaching a higher pitch.
You had to feel and sound ugly. And it wasn't about finding the notes initially, right? It was more about finding that sensation through the siren.
Yeah, kind of like stretching out like a rubber band and thinning out and letting the weight relax off of my voice.
So once you found that weightier, ugly sound from the siren, what was the next step?
So from there, it was about trying to hold that sensation of that pitch when I'm throwing my voice up into that siren.
Not the note, just the sensation of that higher, weightier
Yeah,
feel.
just how does it feel when I'm up there?
Okay, and hold it.
Ah! Ah!
That happens to be a note. We don't know what it is, but when you temporarily harness that sensation, it allows you to feel it and allows you to exist up there without judgment, without needing to attain any particular thing. You're just, oh, that's different.
Yeah, and it's an epiphany. You're like, oh, wow. All of a sudden, there's this other dimension to my voice that I never thought I had.
And then what?
Then it was about becoming conversational with the siren and just adding words and speech into the mix. So, hey, my name is Andy, and I'm talking like this, and whoa, what's happening?
Right. By being so rangy and conversational with it, you've added chest voice.
That's right. I'm just sort of going in and out of it and fluctuating it. And before I knew it, I was adding power unintentionally and mixing my head, siren, and my chest voice.
And it's really important that in this process, he's he's not going for notes. None of it was going for
Not
notes.
at all. Yeah, that actually would have stifled me, and it would have sort of limited me and put me in my own head, and I would be thinking too hard about trying to hit these specific notes when I want to be free and open and fluid.
So what helped you unlock your higher range could be summarized with conversational sirens.
Yeah, and just doing that siren, starting to talk in that siren, and even incorporating it in my daily life so I can be comfortable with these sensations.
And by comfortable with the sensations, part of being comfortable with it is observing what's happening.
Yeah.
Right? Like you said, like, oh, I just went from low to high, and that high felt thicker, and then somehow, because I was just talking, it blended with my what feels like my chest voice, and now it's all connected, and it's not something that you're trying to be musical with. It's something you're trying to be embracing the sensations and how things feel.
Yeah, and just every day I would try this, I would get a little more insight on how does this feel, where is this placed, and how can I pinpoint it and execute it with more and more precision.
That's awesome.
So the way I would start to practice and apply this siren thing into an actually musical thing is I would just put on a track and siren over it, just going up and down. From there, I would incorporate conversation and actual words in that siren, not worrying about the notes, and then finally, all together, adding random notes into the whole process over the track.
Okay, well, let's see that process with this line.
All right.
So take my hand and pull me closer when you're far away.
You're creating this narrative with your voice, right?
I'm starting to tell a story. The picture's not fully formed, but it is becoming more clear.
So take my hand and pull me closer when you're far away. 'Cause we got something that will never fade.
What's kind of cool about this, and of course we know the song, but by you being conversational and not trying to hit notes, you become more musical by being conversational.
Yeah.
It's not focusing on the notes. The notes is the very last thing.
Yeah, let's start to actually try to sing a few things. We're not worrying about the whole thing, just some random notes.
So take my hand and pull me closer when you're far away. 'Cause we got something that will never fade.
So what I started to notice, and you will too, in doing this siren and speaking and adding random notes exercises, I'm actually hitting notes in the broad range of the siren itself. And this allowed me to start thinking down and more relaxed and more mixed, and ultimately expanding my overall vocal range.
And do you still use this?
Absolutely. I still use this to practice all the time. I do it in my warm-ups. The more I do it, the more consistent I am, and I'm maintaining that range so I don't lose the feeling or underdevelop it.
Right. Your notes that you sing in that exercise are in a narrower range than the actual siren itself.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going way higher up there and way lower, and then you're pegging these notes sort of in the middle,
Yeah.
and you end up landing on those all the time instead of pushing up to them. It's
Yeah.
golden.
It's awesome because it's like putting on training weights. You're actually going higher than you need to, which tells you you can use less effort and go lower
Yeah.
and hit the notes that you want to hit.
Super cool. And like you said, he does this in his warm-ups. There's way more warming up that you should be doing before you go exploring the possibilities with your voice. And if you'd like to do that in a healthy and comprehensive way without overdoing it, click that link below in the pinned comment or the video description. What's the course called for free?
Monumental vocal warm-ups with Andy Sizik.